Area code 901. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Lee.
Okay, try again.
Oh. Hello, Lee.
Okay, I don't know if he's doing bath salts or what. Let me try one more. Caller from area code 602. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name's Jason, calling from Arizona.
All right, Jason from Arizona. Where at in Arizona?
In the Glendale, Arizona.
All right, Jason from Glendale. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to call in, and I wanted to bring everybody's attention to that shooter in Allen, Texas, that shot up the mall.
Okay.
They started digging into his social media.
Brother. Okay, then what does that have to do with what we're talking about tonight? And you get to it right now.
I'm going to get to it.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about tonight?
By direct name, he mentions Pearly and Nick Fuentes by name in a post.
The shooter in Allen,
talking about
that Hispanic shooter in Allen, Texas, who shot up that mall.
Yes.
You're saying that he mentioned Pearly things and Nick Fuentes by name.
By name in a post. It's in the Daily Beast, and it's in reference to Hispanics being Nazis. And he mentioned Pearly and Nick Fuentes by name. Well,
while it would be very tempting to throw Pearly into the wood chipper, don't get me wrong, it would be very tempting to do that. I would want to have some context on that. So I really want to know the context in which he was saying that.
The context in which he was saying that is he was speaking to the fact that he's a Hispanic and he's a Nazi. He's a right-wing extremist, and he was making a reference to Nick Fuentes and what Nick Fuentes was saying when he came on Pearly Things platform, and he mentions Nick Fuentes and Pearl by name. So what I'm saying is these white supremacists, she's whether she realizes it or not, she's connected up into them. They get the dog whistles. They understand what's going on with her. They understand why she platforms people like Nick Fuentes. In the article that it's in, you can Google it. It's from the Daily Beast. Just Google Nick Fuentes, Pearl, and Garcia, the Mauricio Garcia. It'll pull up the article.
Okay. Well, this would be nice.
I just wanted to put that out there because that's it kind of blew my mind when I read that.
Okay. Actually, I did take a look into that just now while you were talking. I did take a look into that. I'd like to see if I could bring the damn thing up. I would like to be able to do that. But they're throwing some stiff interference on us over here. But I'd like to see if I could bring that up. If I can, I want to show everyone about saying that. So let me go ahead and get this up on the screen here so everyone can see what he's referring to. Okay, this is the article that the caller is talking about. And by the way, thank you for actually being swift enough to know what you were talking about and getting right to it. To my mods, don't text me things. I can't bring up things by text on my computer. Let's not do that. Okay, this article here from the Daily... Okay, slow down. This article here from the Daily Beast, this is dated today, or at least it's updated today. Disturbing posts show neo-Nazi shooter plan to target Texas mall. A social media account that appears to belong to gunman Mauricio Garcia is filled with bigotry towards women, Jewish people, and racial minorities. When you scroll down here, it says here that, I'm going down here to the part where they were talking about here. Many of the posts addressed his Hispanic heritage, which some commentators previously cited when expressing doubts about his neo-Nazi leanings. Because you see, you had a whole bunch of folk who were telling us that when we said that he was a white supremacist, they were folks online, he can't be white supremacist, he's Hispanic. And we said, no, he's white Latino. What does that matter? This is why it matters. So this incident has really ripped the whole cover off of this idea that you can't be Latino and white supremacist. Because you're dealing with, as I always told you all, you're dealing with European cultures. And that's the bottom line. So if you take a look here, it says, in one recent post, he mused about the Latino people being white and cited Nick Fuentes, a white supremacist with Hispanic heritage. Quote, now he's quoting his words. This is what the caller called up. Hell, Nick Fuentes said something like that while he was on the Pearl show. Now they put her name in lowercase letters, so the Daily Beast is apparently running interference for just pearly things. The Daily Beast is apparently running interference for just pearly things. So as you all can see in the article, they put her name, but they put it in lowercase letters, even though they know who she is. So just understand, what have you all learned here tonight, whether it's Pearl herself or the white media running interference, they all play dumb. When it comes to racism, all of a sudden, they don't know nobody. They all play dumb. Who's Jason Black? Yeah, that Jason Black guy outed me. The Business. All of a sudden, they all start playing stupid. Hey, Pearl, don't look now, but your situation just went from bad to worse. Let me go ahead and keep going. He said, hell, Nick Fuentes said something like that when he was on the Pearl show. He wrote, quote, I think I even read in the news Hispanics could be the new white supremacist. Just the other day, this black dude told me the line is blurring. He can't tell the difference anymore. Someone would look white, but they're actually Hispanic. Nick Fuentes has been adamant that he's white. He's been adamant about that. Now you have a mass shooter who is specifically mentioning pearly things. Now they're specifically mentioning that. Make matters even worse. Let's come down here a little bit more here. It says Jewish people in his other posts include photos of weapons and ammunition and espouse bigotry toward women, Jewish people, and racial minorities anyway. Among them are photos of men and women giving Nazi salutes with the caption, my kind of people. Pinochet did nothing wrong. Reads a line of text beneath a picture of brutal Chilean dictator Augusto Pinochet in a handwritten notebook entry dated July 11, 2022, and posted to the account. Garcia says somebody told him he looks, quote, like the type to walk into a crowd and start shooting. Well, clearly they weren't far off the mark. There were also posts about romance or lack thereof. Quote, I don't care about getting a girlfriend anymore, one said. I still want sex, just not a girlfriend, because I don't believe any more women are capable to genuinely love a man. This thing is messing up bad over here. I want to make sure you all can see the text of it for yourselves. But you can see here where somebody told him that he looks like the type of guy to walk into a crowd and start shooting. And then he says, I don't care about getting a girlfriend anymore. What has Pearly Things been doing? Pearly Things does not appeal to masculine men who do well with women. Pearly Things is appealing to the incels. And what do you know? An incel, one of her incel listeners, because Nick Fuentes doesn't have the internet show, Pearly Things does. And one of Pearly Things' incel people. Now, y'all find out if the white media sits up here and blows this up, by the way. See if the white media does this. Because anybody remember Micah Johnson? They came looking for Tariq Nasheed. They come looking for black folk. Is the white media going to come looking for just Pearly Things to say, by the way, you claim that you're not a white supremacist and you don't engender white supremacy? You claim that a valuetainment. Hey, Patrick Bet David. So we gonna act like this ain't happened? See, everybody want to talk about the male-female thing with just pearly things. I was the first person and the only person who connected the male-female aspect of it to the racial aspect. And what you just saw happen in Allen, Texas, confirms the racial aspect. Everything that we've been saying the whole time. And this is just the one we know about. This is just the one we can confirm. Hey, Newsweek, Business Insider. Didn't Business Insider do an article about just pearly things right before I did my video? Didn't Business Insider do an article about her? Yeah, they sure as hell did. Valuetainment Money was talking about that. Remember that? Remember that, everyone? Business Insider was just doing a story about just pearly things. Hey, Business Insider, don't you need to spin the block and come back around and do a follow-up video about her now? Do a follow-up article? Isn't it time for Vox or Vice, as long as they can stay in business? Isn't it time for one of those outlets to come spin the block again? Y'all wanted to talk about her before. Hey, can't we talk about her now? Can we go ahead and talk about just pearly things now? Because for the folks who were saying we was reaching, for the folks who said that, by the way, this is in their own words. This is in their own words. So when you see her sitting up here mocking black people, when you see her sitting up here mocking slavery, when you see her sitting up here mocking it and laughing about it, when you see her sitting with Nick Fuentes and everything is all great and everything's all gravy and everything's all funny, daring to talk to Nick Fuentes about relationships, by the way, when you see this, I want this to be in its proper context, because this is the proper context. Nah, Pearl, you got a hell of a whole lot more to worry about now, because some of the things that we predicted and were saying you were engendering, well, now there it is. Hey, y'all, I wonder if the white media is going to pick up on this. You know what? We ain't going to worry about waiting for them. We'll be on this now. I had known he had just done some social media posts, but I've been dealing with a bunch of things here. So I'm glad you gave us a call about this to go ahead and put that in this context, because I was unaware. I knew he had put up social media posts, and they were just talking about, I actually posted about that on my Twitter earlier today. Jake Tapper was having conniptions because they had to acknowledge that this was a Latino who was saying he was white. Well, yeah, there are plenty of white Latinos, because Latino is not a race. And they've been trying to act forever as if, oh, that everybody sees things the way black people do. And no, it's not true. It's not true at all. So now just pearly things has gone to a whole new level. She might want to be quiet from here on in. Hey, mediocre tutorials, O'Shea, lead attorney. Anybody else out there? I think this is a very interesting little turn of events, that the mass shooter in Allen, Texas is a listener to Just Pearly Things show. Well, he was a listener before he gunned down the mall. The mass shooter in Allen, Texas, and by the way, y'all know I know Allen well. Dallas Metroplex, I know Allen well. I was one who told y'all about it blowing up. I know Allen well. I'll let you have the last word, caller.
No, I just wanted to get that out there, because, I mean, for me, she's got blood on her hands. And you called it out a long time ago, connecting her, her rhetoric to the racial angle, and there's a lot of brothers out there that were falling for her junk, but it's, it's all coming full circle. It's not even talk now. It's just proof.
Well, I'm glad that you are actually ready to make this phone call. Some folks are not, but I'm glad you're actually ready to make the phone call and get us straight to the point. When I hear things like that, y'all, don't worry. Just because you don't think I'm going ahead and following up on it, actually I am. And yeah, it's right there exactly the way you said it was. So yeah, the plot thickens. The plot thickens. And All the folk who were saying that Just Pearly Things was harmless. Anyone before now who wanted to say that Just Pearly Things was harmless, that this was just First Amendment, the Just Pearly Things, well, can't we have a conversation? You go ask those people in Allen, Texas, if this was just a conversation. You go ask them if, hey, lead attorney, you groveling, sniveling, butt-kissing ass, you go ask those people in Allen, Texas, if this was just entertaining. You go ask them if they're entertained by this. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, y'all, we thought the call was going to go one way and actually went another. Thought the call was going to go one way and actually went another. So thank you to that caller for actually being ready to make his phone call. I wish we had other folks who were equally on point. It's a bad spot to be in. Just Pearly Things has a lot of explaining to do right now about the material she puts out. She's got a lot of explaining to do. When a mass shooter says, I listened to her program and then I picked up the rifle. He listened to Pearly Things and said he ain't got to hear nothing else. Let me go pick up the gun. And then she comes back talking about woke. She comes back talking this racist code language about woke. You want to know who her audience is? This is her audience. This is her audience. Mass shooter. This is Pearly Things' audience. You don't think that this is a bloodthirsty lot over there? You don't think this is a bunch of vicious, bloodthirsty individuals? YouTube is sitting up here suppressing my channel, but they boosting Pearly Things, and then the body count starts. The blood is on YouTube's hands also. The blood is on YouTube's hands. YouTube boosted Pearly Things. YouTube anointed her and boosted her. They're slaughtering people in the streets. The blood is on YouTube's hands also for boosting Pearly Things. They boosted this. They signal boosted it. They promoted it. They gave her the Joe Rogan, Logan Paul treatment. She damn sure didn't earn it through the numbers. The numbers clearly show she didn't earn it. YouTube just gave it to her, and then the slaughter began. Literal. They're over there laughing about black folk having cancer. They're over there laughing about black people in slavery. And now the murders pile up. In the chat room, you're correct. Their dog whistles are being heard. Her racial dog whistle was being heard. And these social media platforms and video platforms need to be taking a second, third, and fifth look at these individuals that they're boosting. Because YouTube, with its right-wing, alt-right leanings, it's always been, YouTube has always played this game of boosting alt-right individuals. They've always played this game of boosting them. And then the bodies pile up. And then YouTube pretends they didn't know nothing. And then they sit up here and boost her so that in the algorithm, so she can sit up here and have some cheeseball ass knockoff program, but she can't help but to sit there and joke over black people's deaths the way that she joked over black people's deaths by the millions in slavery. This is a concerted effort. It always has been. This is just the one we know about. What about the ones we don't know about? What about the ones we're unaware of? What about them? How many of them are sitting out there now loading up their guns as we speak?